can't. I can't. I'm telling you, there's some weird folks that follow me on social
Somebody said something crazy?
No, they just weird. It's just really weird.
Well, yeah. You get them. You got to roll with the punches.
You're right.
Roll with them. What's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel. We're back with the new video, and yes, we are a day late. As you guys know, yesterday was Martin Luther King's day. So, you know, Mikkel also had, you know, he went on a trip to the Jerry Springer show. Now, before you talk about it, because I want you to talk about it, please make sure y'all thumbs up this video and share this video on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or wherever you share videos. And shout out to those that's been using that hashtag, The Scorpion Show, on Twitter and Instagram. As you can see, your name is now scrolling across the bottom, so make sure you get caught using that hashtag, The Scorpion Show, and also sharing our videos. Also, if you do not like our page on Facebook, please make sure you go over to the page and like it, so that way you can catch up with the videos and catch up with other people that watch The Scorpion Show. So again, you went to the Jerry Springer show. How was it?
Well, besides the fact that somebody called me on a Jerry Springer show yesterday to say that I was sleeping with their boyfriend, really was, you know. But other than that, I had a good time. You know, I didn't know I was sleeping with somebody's boyfriend.
Why they said you sleep with their boyfriend?
I don't know. I got to the show and it was all, you know, come to find out it was an Azalea Banks fan.
We are not going to go there.
What did I do
today
for you people to call me on Jerry Springer? But anyway, say no, I wasn't on the show, but I was at the show. I was in the audience. Mm-hmm. It was fun. We had a really good time. It was a lot of laughs. Like, it was just goofy. Like, these shows are just so goofy. Mm-hmm. It was fun. Like, it was just dumb.
How long were, like, do they record for like an hour, or is it longer and just like edited?
No, it's like an hour. It's like an hour. I got to ask a question.
And how was that?
It was fun.
Yes. Well, you
I got to ask a question that, well, I was being shady, but the people on the stage didn't answer, and I noticed that a few people in the audience that asked questions, the people on the stage were just looking dumb and they didn't answer some of their questions.
No.
So it was like really goofy, like, but it was fun. Like, that was something that was on my non-existing bucket list. I don't have a bucket list, but a lot of the stuff that I do have that I've wanted to do, like, I've actually done it. Like, I've actually gone to The View. Okay. And I've actually gone to Jerry Springer, 2 shows that I just absolutely love, and I always wanted to go to Jerry Springer. Always wanted to go to Jerry Springer and sit in the audience, because it just always seemed like the audience just had so much fun, and it was really fun.
Did anybody do anything for them Jerry beads?
No, nobody did anything for Jerry beads. Surprisingly, nobody did anything for Jerry beads. I was in the audience. I was among a group of people who just were like, okay.
What was the topic about?
The regular Jerry topics. You're sleeping with my boyfriend, or I'm sleeping with your girlfriend, and you're my best friend, and you're sleeping with... It's just stupid stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, just the typical Jerry stuff.
So was it better than the Bill Cunningham show?
Way better. I don't watch Bill Cunningham. So Bill Cunningham to me is a little goofy. I do watch Jerry Springer. Jerry Springer is goofy too, but I like Jerry Springer because I know Jerry Springer. I grew up on Jerry Springer. And Jerry Springer, he told us in the audience that he actually signed on to do another 4 years.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so he's getting that money.
Okay.
He's getting that money.
And you know, Judge Judy get $45 million a year just to sit on the bench and yell at people.
I'm going to need you to do me a big favor.
What?
To get rid of that.
What?
Close that door. This is the second video where that was showing.
Listen, but as you can see, it's still in the same spot.
Yeah, which is a good thing. 'Cause baby, if you was touching that and touching baby.
Get
all people were asking me, what was it?
Yes, but child, but you
like
tell, well, you can tell your girlfriend.
Well, no.
Child, but
ain't nobody's business.
And then Justin talking about years to dildo. Hell no.
Who said that?
Justin J. He tried me.
Justin J.
In the
Remind me, Justin
the
J.
YouTuber Justin J.
No, that's not a dildo. Wasn't a dildo. Ew. It's not a dildo.
So anyway, as y'all know, it's Martin Luther King weekend. I had a chance to I rewatched the 4 Little Girls documentary, even though it doesn't coincide with MLK weekend. You know, I decided to watch it again, and I haven't watched it in a couple years. And I relearned a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't know that the girl Cynthia Wesley that was in the bombing, that she was actually an adopted child. And I learned that, you know, one of the sisters was just mentally messed up by it. She's in the documentary and talking, but you could tell she ain't been right ever since that day.
Yeah.
And then I went online and did some more research, and it was 5 people in the basement. One of the sisters survived, but she feels like, you know, kind of like forgotten about, because nobody talks about her at all. And you know, all these years we learned about this bombing, we never knew that there was a surviving sister, and she just said that she just lives her life behind the scenes, and it kind of feels like she's dead because, you know, no one pays her attention. She had glass like blew into her eye, so she lost one of her eyes.
That's a horrible feeling. I've had that happen to me once.
What, glass in your eye? Oh no, I don't want to know.
Oh, it was a horrible. That was years ago when they were making the soda bottles glass. You know how they plastic now? Well, 1994. It was when my grandmother died.
Bottle?
I don't know what kind of bottle, what soda brand it was, but it was when my grandmother died. And you know how when somebody dies and people and your family comes over to the house, you know, days and days up until the funeral. It was one of the days after she had died, and the family was at our house, and we were around the corner, me and my cousins, and this guy threw a glass bottle near us, and a piece of glass went in my eye.
Sure. You had to go to the hospital.
Mind you, we had to go to the hospital. We went to Jefferson Hospital because that was closest to where my grandmother lived at. By the time I got to the hospital, I had managed to get both pieces out of my eye. And I had to wear a clear patch with little holes in it for like a few days after that. But it was a very painful experience. Glass in your eye is... It's like how when you get that little grit stuff in your eye, but it's like a little bit worse. It's worse.
Yeah, so she had glass in the eye, and then she had like glass in her face, and like over years that they were still like picking the glass out her face. You know, it was just a good documentary. Then I found out that the father of Denise McNair, he had went to jail in his 80s. But they said it was, you know, some kind of corruption or whatever. I think they did it just to, you know, for what happened a long time ago. But you do crimes, you got to pay the time.
And he paid the time.
He paid the time. He got out early. I forgot that they had celebrated the 50th anniversary of the bombing and everything. The church is now a landmark. I learned a lot of stuff just, you know, researching some of the people that came up. So that was my...
You pulled a McHale. That's what I did.
Yeah,
I watched stuff and
I seen that the mother of Denise Robertson, she passed away in 2002, and this is after she had a chance to see the guy go to jail that did the bombing. And the father had died like 10 years after the daughter passed away. And she was just talking about how she dealt with the anger of it. What I just loved is that she was saying that you know, holding that anger didn't hurt them, it hurted me. Right. So I had to let that go. But she was saying how she had children. She had like 4 grandchildren, 8 great-grandchildren, something like that. So she said, I had a great life, even though, you know, that happened to her. So
it was... Spike Lee did a great job on this documentary because what he did was... Because I watched... It is on YouTube. It's called 4 Little Girls, and you can go on YouTube and watch the whole documentary. What I learned... just watching, I liked how he focused on each young girl. Like, he didn't just rush into the bombing. Like, it started off with them explaining the backstories of each one of the girls and what they did in school, how they were in school, who their parents were. It just was a great documentary. The part that really got me was when they, after the bombing, when they got the bodies to the morgue and they actually showed the bodies after the bombing.
Yes, ooh, wasn't that bad?
That was so sad. That was so sad. That was so sad. It was a really, really good documentary. One of my favorite parts in the documentary. This was, and to some people it'd be like, well, why is that? But I just love this part so much because it just resonated with me. One of the elderly women who was in the documentary, she was saying how she had took her kids somewhere. They were out somewhere in public, and one of her kids was thirsty, and she said that you know, one of the kids went to go and try to drink from water fountain for white people, and she said, no, you can't. You know, you can't drink there. You just wait until you get home. And the child said to her, but why? I don't understand why I can't drink. There's nobody there. And she said, you know, it was hard to try to explain to your child why it is that they can't drink from that, because all they see is, well, there's nobody there, so I can go drink from it. It was just a really, really good documentary, and I hope that you all who haven't seen Four Little Girls, you go on YouTube and watch it. And shout out to those of you who actually looked up Martin Luther King's sermon, The Drum Major, because there was a lot of people hitting me up saying that they watched it and they loved it. And I found another one that's even better. It's from Dr. King, and his sermon is called Why Jesus Called a Man a Fool.
Why Jesus Called a Man? I gotta look for that one myself. And what year is that from?
I think in 67. But I think, if my memory serves me right, I think in that sermon he's preaching at a church in Chicago. And baby, there was a lot of stuff in his sermon that he was saying that was taking me back to the past 2 videos that we made. And I was just like, wow, Dr. King, you are speaking to me. So make sure y'all go look at that sermon on YouTube.
Go check it out. So as y'all know, the Whitney Houston movie came out on Saturday, and I told you I did a video right afterwards, and I felt like the movie should have been called Bobby and Whitney, something, because
instead of just Whitney.
Yes, because it didn't just focus on Whitney Houston. And so y'all know how I felt. I gave you a good 10-minute video. So how did you feel from what you saw? Because I know you said you didn't see it.
Yeah, I didn't see the whole movie. It was well acted. It was definitely well acted. I think I don't understand people. I really don't.
So you looking at?
I'm looking at life. That's what I'm looking at. Because I tweeted and I said something about Whitney's vocals, because they had started playing Deborah Cox singing. Now, of course, Deborah Cox has an amazing voice, and she was blowing those songs. But for me, watching a movie about Whitney Houston, I just was imagining Whitney's voice. Singing, even though Deborah Cox killed it, and even though we were told months ago that Deborah Cox was going to be singing the songs, people were hitting me up and was like, well, duh, because Deborah Cox singing. And I'm like, I already knew that. I'm just, And they were really like, well, duh, everybody knows that it's Deborah Cox. And I'm like,
everybody don't even know who Deborah Cox is.
But they assumed that I didn't know. But
Well, doing this show, you better know that she was going to be doing it.
And that's what I said to 2 people. I said, I do the Scorpion Show on YouTube where we talk about stuff like this. Why would you think that I didn't know that? And they didn't have a clear answer for me. I was just like, it's like everything you tweet, they take it so literal.
I don't know. I find myself tweeting a lot less and less.
Well, you notice I tweet a lot less too. But then I went to Instagram. They didn't follow me on over Instagram and harassing me on there. So I was like, I can't escape them. I really can't. But yeah. I thought I liked it. I didn't get too far into the movie because I had a friend who came over, and so we had left out, and yeah, so I didn't get to see the whole movie. But what I did get to see, no, it's not the type of friend bitch you try to.
No.
What I did get to see was when I came back in the house, when they were showing the live performances, the greatest performances, live performances of Whitney Houston. That was great. One of my favorites was when she did, what was it, at Radio City Music Hall? Was it The Greatest? Was that The Greatest Love of All?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't see it?
I didn't watch the whole thing.
Oh, you didn't see it? Okay, well, that was The Greatest Love of All. And then when they showed, when she did my favorite.
Was that the Grammys?
No, it wasn't at the Grammys. It was, I think it was Arista something. The 15th anniversary for Arista. Also, the live performance that she did with the Sailors, All the Man That I Need. That's like
one of my favorite ones
songs.
too.
Yeah.
Yes.
And hearing her sing that live is like,
she did that shit. So, I mean, there is still 20 years later, it's past 20 years after her debut, almost 30. It still has never been a voice like hers.
And just to see her sing, just to watch her sing it live and how she was just using, and then as I'm watching her, particularly when she was singing The Greatest Love of All, and watching her, and I'm like, that is such a church girl, because no matter what kind of song she sings, she can't escape that church. She can't escape it. I'm like, yeah, she was singing. Woo!
Yes. I think one of my favorite ones is One Moment in Time at the Grammys. I just love Whitney Houston's voice, period. Y'all just don't understand. I just love it so much. So, yeah. So, Mikkel didn't get a chance to see the whole thing. I enjoyed it, but it seemed like there was still so much more to be told because you only told 5 years of a marriage. And they were married for what? 15, 12 years? Well, then when they got married, 92?
91, I thought.
They got married early.
Yeah, they got married
in the 90s.
Yeah, because Bobby Christina was born in 94, right?
Because I remember the I'm Every Woman video of Whitney was pregnant.
Yeah, I think they were married. It was between 91 and 92 that they got married. So it's one of those years that they got married.
And something I found funny is that they didn't show what year it actually was. They didn't say the time period. Like in a movie, like, you know how to tell you, it didn't say none of that stuff. And I was saying that I learned that Whitney Houston had a miscarriage because I never knew she suffered miscarriages. And I found out she suffered more miscarriages.
After the birth of Bobby.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So, yeah, I learned a lot. And then just the ways that they would just slide, and then Whitney snorting that coke like, oh my God, and y'all, nobody said nothing.
Well, I mean,
nobody. She just did it. Either because she was partying or she was over it. She ran to that coke and snorted it.
Well.
Yeah, I mean, ain't nothing I can say, but, you know, that's that. If you ever get into the industry, don't get into that kind of stuff. That is just terrible.
Well, there's some people who are not in the industry and they do it.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying it's more prevalent. Like, when you get into the industry, you start experiencing them hard drugs, and it just becomes a thing. Like, hey, everybody do it.
What if you're a child of a celebrity and they do it?
A child of a celebrity do it? It could affect you too. It could make you want to do the same stuff. But then again,
you're a child of a celebrity and their parents are doing it?
Because you got so much access to everything. You probably doing harder drugs than what your parents was doing because you think it's cool. Something Bobby said is that they.
Well, no, not a child of a celebrity whose parent is doing it, but if you're a child of a celebrity and you're doing it, like Nene Leak's son.
Oh, you tried it. Was he actually doing cocaine or selling it?
I don't know, but he's going to jail for it. I don't want to have it in there.
See, her son keep fucking her up doing dumb shit. He been doing a lot of dumb shit.
He does 3 months in jail and 6 weeks in rehab for cocaine. So that means.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so if he's going to rehab, then
see,
I doubt if they're sending him there because
he's really getting his life. Okay. Poor Nene. I feel bad for that.
Well, you know, when your mom is making them Trump checks, then you can afford to get that good shit.
But he don't need that.
No, he don't need that. He don't need it.
Oh my God! None of y'all need it.
But I'm gonna just be quite honest with you. I'm not really surprised by this story, only because even when he was featured on the show, he never seemed like somebody who had it all. Like he just always seemed like her youngest son seems like the type that he has a bright future because he's in it, he's with it, and whatever. Her oldest son just never really seemed like he had it all. It just never seemed like he cared. I remember the episodes when she was trying to force him to get a job, cut his hair, because he was just a slouch, like he didn't want to do nothing, he was lazy. He just seemed like he didn't care, and I always tell certain, like, young guys a little younger than me, because, you know, I'm only 23, I always tell guys, like, a little younger than me, that, I try to tell them what my mom used to tell me, like, you're a guy, like, I don't understand when young guys say that they don't want to learn how to drive, because I'm thinking like all guys would want to know how to drive. I don't understand when guys say, oh, I don't want to get a job, because you'd be thinking like, my mom used to always say to me, nobody wants somebody who's a bum. And why would you just want to rely on other people to take you here and there? You should want for yourself. And so when these young guys out here, they think that, okay, I don't need a job, I'll just go out and stay out in the corner. Like, who would want to do that? And, you know, I look at some of these guys that I know and I just be like, you know.
No, because that's what they see and what they know.
To you,
dumb girls that don't know what's going on and their mom ain't telling them to do no better, and then when their mom still telling them not to do it, they still go with them.
But it's not even necessary. But you know what? It's not even necessarily guys who see what they know, because a lot of these guys out here who do stuff like that come from two-parent households. Both of them.
Not a lot. Not from what I've experienced.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on where you're at, because there are some guys. But you know what? That's kind of like saying, oh, guys who are gay didn't have a dad in their household. That's not true.
No, but a lot of
that's not true.
But a lot of people say it, but it's not.
Yeah,
true.
but that's not true. Just
but
like it's not true that every guy who does drugs.
But let me tell you something. Some people, if you had a father in your life, trust and believe, you probably wouldn't be out there selling those drugs or living in that house selling drugs.
No, you probably wouldn't be living in that house. You probably wouldn't be living in that house selling drugs. But then, if you have some parents who are just oblivious to what you are doing and they think that you're doing right, then yeah, because there are a lot of people who come from.
You know what? Every parent knows their child. So you know if your child is out there selling drugs or doing something right and he ain't got no job and he bring home more shit than you. Now come on.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is we can't say that everybody who does drugs somehow comes from a one-person family, one-parent household.
No, but what I'm saying is from my experience growing up, and I've been growing for 30 years and I'm still growing every day. From what I see, a lot of those people out there selling drugs, either they do have a father in their life and they're still doing it, but most of them don't. And what they do is when they grow up, they see the people out there selling the drugs, they start hanging around those people. And where do I see most of those people that I grew up with? They're either in jail or dead. In jail or dead because they all thought it was good to be out there selling drugs and, just doing a lot of stupid shit, stealing cars and smoking weed and all of that stuff. They was into all this stuff. I wasn't into none of that shit. Kevin went to school, came home, played his video games. He might have came outside to play basketball, football for a little bit, but all of that extra shit I wasn't into. And plus my mother was one of those mothers that wasn't fucking having it. But a lot of these guys, they just, I don't know, they just think it's okay. Everybody wants to smoke weed, be a rapper, and do drugs or sell drugs. And think that that's the high life. That is not the high life. That is not the high life. And if you are in a two-parent household, I know that if you out there selling drugs, you ain't letting that child stay in the house. The man in the house needs to stand up and do something about that. That ain't going down like that. So, I don't know. So yeah, that's just how I feel about it on the drug situation. I feel bad for Nene's son. He need to really get it together because he is just like Nene be so. But see, he's grown. So it's not so much you can say to Nene about, only thing you can do is just, throw shade at her about it. But that man is grown. He's like 25. So he's making those decisions. Ain't nothing Nene can do. Only thing Nene can do is talk to him. And probably pay for him to go to rehab. And that's it. He's responsible for everything else.
Well, why shouldn't he be responsible to pay for himself to go to rehab?
Maybe he don't got the coins.
Well, then maybe he shouldn't be doing that.
Well, he shouldn't. He should not be doing it.
And if he needs that hard black mother, so to know you pay for it.
But sometimes they got volunteer programs where you go into the program and don't have to pay.
Let him know my money will not help you with anything. You're grown, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But you shouldn't be doing it. But you know what? Or sometimes there's companies that.
My father tells me all the time, I don't take care of grown people.
I know.
He said, I take care of me and my wife. I don't take care of grown people. He tells me all the time, you and your sister are grown.
Don't get hooked on that
right.
Stuff.
My father told me, when you and your sister turn 18 is when I stop taking care of y'all. Y'all are grown. Mm-hmm. And the only person I take care of is me and my wife. Y'all two, I don't take care of y'all. Y'all grown. Y'all got your jobs. Y'all do what y'all do. He said, now I will help y'all if y'all need help, but I won't take care of you.
Mm-hmm. I know that's right.
Some of these people need parents like that. Stop having parents who enable them. Mm-hmm. Stop having parents pay for them to go to rehab. No.
Something has
let him go to a free rehab.
But that's her son.
I'm sorry, no, it doesn't matter if that's his son. Let him go to a public assisted rehab with the real junkies and not the celebrity junkies. Because they put them up in a nice room with nice bed. Mm-hmm. Let him go lay on the cot.
And one of the UFC boxers, fighters, I recently just got into MMA, so don't judge me if I get the names wrong or whatever. But John Jones, he had tested positive for cocaine in December, but they didn't ban him from fighting. I guess it's because it wasn't a steroid or whatever. And like a couple weeks after the fight, he said that he was going into rehab to get himself together, and motherfucker was only in rehab for 1 day and left. And felt he didn't need to be in rehab because he was strong enough to beat it at home.
And he didn't beat it at home.
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, we don't know. But I bet you, I don't know.
Oh, we know.
it's tough to just do that stuff cold turkey. If you
of
just
course it is. That's why he should be somewhere where there's people helping them, helping him. He shouldn't. I don't know.
Well,
there's a lot of stuff that I'm trying to be cold turkey.
Like what?
Like making it to work. Like making it to work with 10 miles of gas in my car, knowing I gotta go 30 miles. It's like, no.
Bitch,
Dr. King said, stop going beyond your means, okay? If you're only making $10,000, don't be living in no $25,000 house. That's what Dr. King said. Make sure y'all watch that thing. Lord. That's what he said. But people do it. But yeah, next topic.
Yeah, the next topic.
Shout out to Empire. It got renewed for season.
Yes, I got that in my notes.
After 2 episodes.
Yes, because Black Twitter helps shows out. Okay, because when you see it trending and you see everybody talking, you want to be in on what's happening. So now you starting to watch Empire, or you done caught up with it over the weekend because it's on Hulu. You can watch it. So I'm just so glad that the show got renewed, and you know, I did some more research about it, and Taraji was calling shots before she even got the motherfucking job. Like she found out that Wesley Snipes was actually supposed to be Lucius, and she said, I'm not going to do this project if Terrence Howard is not on it. And if you don't pick him, good luck to your project. And then he was like, you talking like you got the... But they was like, that's Cookie, bitch. That's Cookie right there.
And you know what? Her and Terrence Howard have a great
chemistry.
Chemistry with each other. And that's shout out. Let me just tell you this. Shout out to actors who recommend other actors. Like, for instance, I found out that Patrick Swayze had recommended Whoopi Goldberg for Ghost. Oprah Winfrey had recommended David, what's his name? Oyelowo for Selma. Shout out to these actors who recognize their fellow actors and say, you know what, I want this one to be in this movie with me because they're good and they deserve to be in this part. Shout out to them, and shout out to Taraji, because her and Terrence make a great couple. They just work really well together. Shout out to Wesley Snipes too. I don't know where he's at, but shout out to him.
Yeah, and I'm going to make this admission. I have never seen Hustle and Flow. So,
no, I'm not judging you because I think I only saw a little bit of it. So, I'm not judging you.
I've never seen it. Yeah. Never. But yeah, I'm happy that the show's picked up for a second season. And make sure y'all watch Empire at 9. And guess what? The ratings for the second episode was even higher than the first episode.
I know that's.
So Fox is like, bitch, we gotta get on this, get this money.
Okay.
So we gotta get this money.
Get this money, honey.
The Housewives of Atlanta was this past Sunday. Why did I say it like that? I don't know. This past Sunday's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta, it was a continuation of the girls being in Puerto Rico. And it was an okay episode. It was like a filler episode. And I think that Real Housewives of Atlanta now is too focused on who can throw the most shade. And it's taking a little bit of the fun out of the show. Because, first of all, y'all only went to Puerto Rico. What happened to the big trips y'all used to take? I hope this is not the only trip that the girls go on this season. I really feel like Claudia is standing in her shade, like on her own. Like, y'all might say, oh, she got this from Twitter, I don't care about that bitch. She said all of that shit to Nene's face. And Nene could do nothing but fucking cower up and run.
Claudia was the first one that actually dished it all out to Nene, and I think it was Cynthia who said it to her. Claudia, as corny as she is to me, Claudia really gave it to Nene, and it was like, it's about time somebody actually stood up to her. It really is. Like, Claudia stood up to Nene, and she did not back down not one time. And you know what? The scene where they were in the bus going to Demetria's show, a lot of people didn't like how Claudia came from Porsha, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something right now. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I was looking at that particular scene in two ways. I was looking at it in a way that people were saying that they didn't like how she came for Porsha like that. I saw where they was coming from, but then I saw it in the way that I saw it. And I said, you know what? Claudia did something that Mikhail would probably do. when you know that somebody, first of all, because you know when it's a group of people and you know you got that one person in the group that has the mouth, you know it's always somebody else in the group that's saying shit too, secretly saying shit. And a lot of times we overlook that second person because we so focused on the mouthpiece that we overlook the second person, knowing that the second person is just sitting there saying smart shit too. And Claudia called out that second person, which was Porsha. And Porsha was like a deer in headlights. Huh? And Claudia put the shit on the table. Like, bitch, don't fuck with me because I know you messing with this married African man and that's how you getting all this shit. Don't play with me, girl, because I will read you too. Just like I read her, I'm now going to read you. And Porsha didn't. Well, I don't understand. How did this become about me? Because, see, Porsha, you was, like she said, you were all giggly and you were all laughs at that table. You had so much to say. And then when Claudia threw it on you, then you got, oh, I don't know how this is about me now. Wait, I didn't say anything. Oh, you're such a contradiction. Like, what are you talking about, Porsha? This doesn't make sense, but we know she kind of slow down. You know, she's beautiful, but she's slow. And I like that about Claudia because Claudia showed us, like, look, I ain't afraid of none of you hoes, okay? Not one bit. And it ain't nothing that y'all did or has said that I'm going back down to. So you know what, Porsha? The next time you feel the need to laugh and giggle this, I would rather, you know what I would rather you do? I would rather you, this is how I am. If Nene gets into an argument with Claudia again, Porsha, and y'all are there, and Nene's your good girlfriend, I would rather you jump up and start arguing with Claudia too. And I'm gonna tell you why I would rather her do that. Because I would rather see you and Nene arguing with Claudia than rather see Nene argue with her and you on the side like laughing and saying smart shit and not, you know what I mean? I would just rather you speak up. So then this way, Claudia can get both of y'all bitches at the same time, rather than you be like a little punk and on the side talking shit, and then when it's brought to your attention, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. No, stand up, because we had that little incident yesterday at Jerry Springer too. You know, this girl, I ain't even gonna go there, but you know, these two people, they got a little smart.
But y'all on the trip?
Yeah. They got in the studio.
Go there,
they got a little smart. And see, they didn't know who we were.
Okay, see?
Okay,
that's the worst thing.
That's the worst thing you don't know. Because who mind you, they got to talk with Demetria first.
Oh, no.
And you know they know you. Are like yin and yang. So, you know.
What?
So, okay, I'm going to tell y'all real quick. So, the rules at Jerry Springer was, you know, no phone. It's all shows. No phones, no nothing. Turn that stuff off. Even when the guests leave the stage, do not pull your phone out to text or to take no pictures, nothing. Your phones are not supposed to be out. So, it was these two girls. First of all, these two girls, they were very upset because when they came in, they couldn't sit up front. Girls, these are free seats, and you're not assigned to sit up front. So, no, you can't sit up front. So, anyway, during one of the breaks, they brought out their phones and started taking pictures. So, one of the security guys, he was at the bottom, and he was trying to get their attention, but they didn't see them because they was like this, taking selfies. So, the guy was like trying to get their attention to tell them to put the phone away, so me and Anitra were closer to them. So, Anitra was like, excuse me, put your phones away. He trying to get your attention. She gonna say to her, mind your business, turn around. That's all I need to hear. That's all I need to hear. Yep.
And Anitra let her say something.
No, she didn't let her say that. I know. No. Because before she could get hers out, I was like, excuse me, first of all, you're not supposed to have them out anyway. Okay? So you know me and Demetria take it. I said, first of all, you're not supposed to have them out anyway. Don't tell nobody to mind their business. So you know, Demetria like, so you know, they, mind you. So by this time, as loud as I got, I thought maybe the security's gonna kick us out. But he didn't say nothing. He sat right there. We got them together. And I turned around and said, Demetria, we're gonna whoop some ass after the show. Okay? We're gonna whoop somebody's ass after the show. And that's going back to Porsha. That's how I want you to be, Porsha. If you see your girlfriend arguing with somebody, instead of you being the bitch, you jump in it too. You jump in it too. Don't just hide and cower, and then on the bus you get all scared. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Why is this about me? Because bitch, you had so much to say at the dinner table, now you ain't got shit to say. That's why it's about you.
But look, if your pussy that good to get you bags and cars, keep on doing what you're doing.
Hey, I ain't mad at it at all.
What you getting, okay?
Hey.
Because I ain't mad at you. Don't deny it, and you should be glad, bitch, if your pussy can get you all of that.
You know, some of us out here, we do some strange for that change, okay?
We did. Anyway.
No, don't take me. I ain't never no change. If I'm doing something strange, it's for the business, not for the change. Okay? I have not relegated myself to that level, okay?
Now, Demetria, girl, you're going to have to work on your stage presence,
She is, but she can sing.
Yeah, she can blow, blow.
She is going to work on stage
any
presence.
singer from the Housewives franchise, she got that. And, see, Demetria, I would have, well, am I telling lies?
No, you're not.
All right.
Yep.
So, and, and one more thing.
Go ahead.
Demetria, don't ever apologize to Phaedra again.
No.
Don't apologize to these bitches because they always talk to you or anybody like they up here and you're down here.
And you're down here.
Like, okay, you apologize to her and you didn't have to because that bitch was talking about you, saying all kinds of stuff about Roger Bob. That's your man. Don't worry about who I'm fucking. So what? I bring him up in my conversation. I didn't bring him up with you. You mind your motherfucking business.
But you know what? I will say this. That was very big of Demetria.
It's a woman.
Yeah,
She's
that was
a woman.
big of her to do that. But at the same time, it's like, Demetria, when you know that you weren't in the wrong and this is your trip,
yeah,
that
don't
you and Roger
apologize.
Bob, whoever the hell paid for, you don't. No. Phaedra should have either came and apologized to you, or she should have hopped her ass on the next flight back to Atlanta.
Yes.
One or the other. Right.
I would have see if I could get her kicked out off my card. Because I'm Roger Bob paying for it.
I would have seen if I could have got her kicked off. She would have gotten kicked off. Because you know what? After the last word was exchanged at their argument, I would have said this. Guess what? I can show you better than I can tell you. And that would have been the last thing I said to her. And I'd have got up and went straight to that lobby. Excuse me, I need to speak to the manager. There's somebody that's out here that I need kicked off this car, and I need her out of her room tonight. Not tomorrow, tonight.
That
She
would have
really
been
been
good,
made.
bitch.
Oh,
she would have been able to keep her peach if that happened.
But that would have been the shade of the whole season when Demetria sent Phaedra home. Yeah, that'd have been shady.
Yeah, she want to stay out here. She stay out here on her dime.
Yeah, she want to stay out here. She stay out here on that dime. Okay. Let's see if she's that money that she gonna put on Apollo books. Half her put on this damn track.
And see, Nene, you ain't no better because you only did all of that just to make it look like you're better than them just because you're on Broadway. Yes, Broadway is a great achievement, but bitch, you ain't that good of an actor.
But she was doing that to try to throw at Claudia. Because Claudia got her together the night before, so now she wants to sit there and
so I'll give everybody a ticket. And I heard ain't none of them come. Only a couple. And you fucking right, bitch, because you a fucking bitch. That's Tamar.
Yeah, that's her
Congratulations.
girlfriend.
Damn. Congratulations. So, did I? No, I didn't try that, did I?
No, I didn't say nothing.
I just said now.
I don't care what you tried. I just said Tamar went because I saw Tamar posted the picture of her at the show.
Oh, I just.
And they all went out to dinner. It was Tamar and what's the other one? Adrian.
Byline,
they had went to the show together.
You know what? Speaking of that show, I just want to say congratulations to Tamara for getting pregnant again. She's on her second baby, and I noticed that John Legend's wife had something to say about it. Like, this bitch always. See, I don't ever talk about her on our show.
And you know what's so
she
funny?
Always got something
because
to say.
somebody, I think it was Ryan Seacrest at the Golden Globes. It was either Ryan or Juliana that was interviewing them at the Golden Globes, and they said something about her Instagram and the stuff that she posts, and I never paid it no mind because I don't follow her. And I'm thinking like, well, why is what she posts relevant? Like, John Legend is her husband. Like, why are we worrying about what she posts? Like, what? I'm not understanding. And then they asked. Then whoever it was, I think it was Ryan Seacrest, asked John, does she ever come to him for approval of the stuff that he posts? And he said no, you know. He said, but I do tell her, like, you make sure you're sure you want to post it because you know what's going to happen. But is she controversial on social media?
Yeah, she's very controversial, always got something to say. And so, you know, Tamara confirmed that she was pregnant through the Clear Blue thing. I don't give a fuck if Clear Blue was paying her, how much money he was paying for. She was like, also people using Clear Blue. No. She said some shade to where she was saying, oh, people using the sticks just to get paid just to say that they're pregnant. I wonder how lucrative that deal is.
Okay, so the Clear is a pregnancy stick.
Yeah, the pregnancy stick.
So she used a pregnancy stick, and so basically the company that owns the pregnancy stick basically paid Tamara to say, use our stick and then go on and say that you're pregnant.
Yeah. Okay. So she was like, people peeing on sticks for checks. I need to see how lucrative this is. So she was talking about Tamara, but she didn't say no names.
Of course she did.
And then she's going to say, oh, I wasn't talking about that. Like, bitch, you always got something to say. Shut your mouth. And you know now, if The Real get picked up for a second season, Tyra, she's going to be on Tyra Banks' show. So their show is going to be called The Fab.
Who's going to be on Tyra Banks' show?
Chrissy Teigen, John Legend's wife.
Tyra Banks coming out with a new show?
She's coming out with a new show. It's going to be like The Real, but it's going to have men on there too or something like that.
It should.
They're going to be talking about fashion and everything. So, I don't know. Just sometimes it's just best to model and pose and then don't speak. Because every time I notice when models speak, sometimes the good stuff just don't come out their mouth. She's not like Tyra Banks. Anyway, what was we talking? Yeah, I don't know how we got onto that.
I don't know.
But yeah, I just noticed that she always got her mouth flapping. And congratulations to Tamara, she's having a girl. And I had to switch from The View a couple days last week to The Real because I don't like.
Well, Whoopi came back to that.
I missed it. I overslept.
I need them to get back to the old ways. The old hard arguments.
I'm tired of Mario Cantone. Whoever works for ABC, if you watching this or you know somebody, he is not funny.
No,
he's not funny.
No,
and he always trying to overtalk somebody for a joke.
For a joke that's
not even funny.
Yes.
Like, girl, sit down. I'm happy you on The View and everything, but girl, bye.
No, I'm not happy he's on The View.
I mean,
that's contradictory.
I wasn't ready. Like,
either was Porsha.
Damn.
No, I'm not happy he's on The View because for season after season, he's always this male guest star, and it's like, no.
Say something else.
Yeah, I did, but because I don't need them coming after me. It's still January.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, they use him, and it's like 2 seasons or 3-4 seasons ago, I came to the conclusion they're really using him. Mm-hmm. They're not using him, they're using him for these fake ass laughs. Like you said, he's not funny. Why is he on The View?
Yeah.
His opinions don't even add up to the panel. Like, why is he on there? Like, it doesn't make sense.
And he really made me mad because when Michelle was on there, he was like trying to overtalk her. And she had to let him know. She didn't say don't overtalk me, but she calmed me down about some of the stuff he was saying.
Yeah.
But some of the people like, no, you're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna talk about Prince. Oh baby, it was a joke. Oh no, baby, you're not gonna go there.
Don't go there. I don't care if it was a joke. Where does he work at?
On Broadway.
Well, he should stay there. Yeah, why is he over there at ABC? Please.
I miss Rosie Perez.
Where's she at?
She's on Broadway.
Oh,
she's on Broadway. Everybody's on Broadway.
Everybody's on Broadway. What you know, Regina Hall. I didn't like you on The View today.
She was on The View today?
Yeah, for what? I don't know. She's a very pretty lady, but she just,
They talked about that movie With This Ring with Eve and them.
That show, they talked about it for about 2 seconds, and then there was no more of it. No more of it. They mostly the show's focus was on Whoopi coming back and what happened to her.
Yeah, what happened to her?
Her back, her back went out, or whatever the case may be, and so that's why she was out. And she was in the hospital and everything. Yeah. And she had her doctor come on and explain what happened, and they got new chairs and stuff for her.
Oh, for her back. Remember, because she kept talking about her back and them chairs.
Yeah. Right? Why would y'all give them little ass stools? They were stools. But yeah, they need a more hard panel on The View.
Yes.
Everybody's friendly and fun View, it's just like, no.
I'm ready for Ann Coulter to just join the show.
No, I'm ready for Barbara Walters, Joy Behar, Elizabeth Hasselbeck, Sherry Shepherd, and Whoopi Goldberg to get back together. That's what I'm ready for. Okay, that's what I'm ready for.
Yeah.
When they would get into them hard debates, Joy and Elizabeth will go at it. Okay. Bitch, I'm about to go to YouTube and start watching this whole episode.
It's not the same.
You know how I love The View. Ever since I've been on the show, I talked about The View. I don't even think I've watched more than 7 episodes during the season. And I saw that they're at episode 80 something, and I'm like, damn, I don't know.
They need to have 5 people on the panel, no more 4. If Rosie's gonna lead the show, then y'all need to put that Naya Rivera in there. She only made that one stupid comment.
Who's Naya Rivera?
From Glee, the Puerto Rican girl.
What did she say?
She just said that some dumb shit she said is that white people shower more than black people.
Well, no, she don't need to be on the show like that. No, she don't. No, she don't need to be on the show.
Talk about if she was trying to make it a joke. No, bitch, that was not funny.
That's not funny. It's not a joke. And no. What they need is Laverne Cox to come back. They need her to come back.
I like her.
They really do. They really do. They really, really do. And because the show is just boring. It's really boring.
Yep.
They need a new Nicole Wallace needs to go.
Yes! Oh my God! Yesterday she got on my
It's like
nerve.
she don't even know how to. She don't even know how to debate. She just knows how to say something and
keep it going and shut up.
Yeah, she don't know how to debate. You
Rosie told her in the nicest way to shut up yesterday.
I gotta see that.
Cause you know, she asked the question. Mario Cantone, he was trying to answer for her. Now this time I was on his side. He was really trying to answer, and every time she kept laughing louder and louder. And you know, Rosie's like, if you calm down now, maybe he can explain what he's trying to say. And Mel B was just sitting there like, bitch, I don't work here. I'm just here for the check. Stupid.
She said it.
She always got something to talk about and keeps it going. Like, learn when to shut up. Say enough and keep it alone. She reminds me of the girl. Remember on that show, My Brother and Me? Shout out to those that remember it. Yes. And the girl just kept going.
Dion.
Yes, that's Nicole Wallace.
Yes.
Shut the fuck up.
She works on, she has her own radio thing, doesn't she, now in New York?
Really?
What's her name? Amanda something. What was her name?
Amanda Diva.
Isn't it her name?
Amanda the Diva, Amanda Seals, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's her. That's what Nicole Wallace is. The View, y'all need a good revamp.
Yeah, again.
Okay, the February sweeps, y'all need to sweep some of them out of there and put some new ones in there.
Yeah.
And make it more controversial.
Yes. Come on. Like Nicole Wallace? Are you kidding me? They could have got Ari Fleischer. They could have got me.
Well, you and Whoopi wouldn't be sitting next together.
That would have been a good show. Because you know I love Whoopi Goldberg, but baby, you wouldn't have told me no. Don't tell me no. No. Because the minute somebody says something, Whoopi, no, that's not. When did your word become set in stone? Don't tell me no, that's not. Yeah, we'd have been up there arguing. That would have been good TV. What?
YouTube and Mikhail Clinton.
That would have been great television.
Together, okay?
What?
Then you had to do interviews about what happened on The View. And Barbara Walters probably wouldn't want you back.
That's
you
all right.
had too much mouth.
Barbara Walters, you don't work here no more, so you don't come over here and
she had the nerve to be on there on Friday.
Yeah, she keeps popping up.
On Friday.
Just come the fuck back. She just finds a way to keep popping up, don't she?
And Anthony Mackie did an interview with thegrill.com. Now, you know, it wasn't a bad interview, but he just made some controversial statements. First, he said people tired of racial films in America. That's why no one really went to go see Selma. And then he was saying his nephew wants dreadlocks, so he told his nephew not to get the dreadlocks because a lot of bad people wear dreadlocks.
Who said this?
Anthony Mackie.
The actor.
Yes, I can't believe he said this. Let me tell you what he said. So he said he watched the episode. Maybe. So he tells his nephew, you want dreadlocks? Let's watch 48 Hours. And he was saying everybody on 48 Hours wear dreadlocks. And is that how you want to be seen as a bad guy? You want to be seen as an individual. He actually said that. He actually said it.
Well, then you know what? I would have pulled up a picture of Jeff Johnson. He has dreadlocks, and he's not a bad person.
No, he
or of Sway. He has dreadlocks. He's not a bad person. Like,
it was a stupid comment.
That's as worse as Nia Rivera saying that white people shower more than blacks. Like, Anthony Mackie, are you serious?
And then
he had the nerves to throw first 48 hours in there. That's first 48.
That's your show.
That's my show that's about to go off. First of all, Anthony Mackie, most of the guys on first 48 who have the dreads are usually guys who live either down south, but I notice a lot of them
down south
are in Florida. A lot of those guys, they'll have the dreads and they'll be in Florida. But it doesn't matter if they're in Florida, South Carolina, New York, Mississippi, Ohio, wherever. That was stupid to say. Oh, you're going to be labeled as a bad guy because look at first 48. Where did he say this at?
TheGrill.com in an interview about...
Why don't they come on this show and say stuff like that so then we can challenge them? Who is that?
Charles.
He must have got some. Do you ever see...
Huh? No.
That's something wrong with her. And my friend every time, cause
You better not try to find out.
Who?
Yeah.
Why the fuck would I want to try? I don't know. I don't want to try to find out nothing.
We haven't whispered in a couple videos. Y'all can take that. So yeah, so I didn't like what he said. Then he went on to say that there was no racial discrimination with the Oscars this year. Everybody just came hard, and people need to step their game up if they want to get nominations.
Anthony Mackie is upset because he didn't get cast in Selma. That's all that is.
He tried out, but who was that?
He already did. Some gay guy who ruins everything. I'm not saying he ruins everything, but you know, gays just ruin everything.
What do he do? Is he squatting on something?
No, that's a guy that was squatting in his panties.
Let me tell you something. I did enough squats since Saturday.
No, he's recreating the Amber Rose picture.
Yes, let's talk about that before we get up. That look like Luke James.
No, I actually know who this is. He's from Philly.
Let me say.
I don't know him personally, but he's from Philly. And I can't even see the face.
But he ain't got no wagon like Amber Rose. So why?
I mean, his body's nice, but I hate when people try to recreate stuff like. Let that alone.
No, because Amber Rose, it was just the way that her body. Amber Rose, like,
did that.
She fucking did that.
Yeah, she did.
So shout out to Amber because she set Twitter on fire on Saturday, and she knew that she was. You want to talk about breaking the internet? That's breaking the fucking internet, bitch. Kim can't come for that. I wonder what Kanye be thinking when he's seen that.
He doesn't think. He already had it. You know, we already had something. So I already had that.
I don't know.
Somebody asked me that one day about my ex. I said, I don't think anything. I was with my ex and now we're not together anymore. I've already had it. What? Not saying that it was a bad thing that I already had it. I mean, because it was good when I did have it. But I don't have it anymore and now... What? Because you don't think about it. Especially when you didn't already have it. It's like, okay, I had it. I would just hate for Kanye West to ever, which I know he wouldn't, but I would hate for him to ever pull a Ray J move. Oh, I hit it first. You know, that would be a bum to do. And Ray J clearly was a bum to do that. Sorry, Brandy, but your brother was a bum when he did that. I hit it first. Like, okay. Actually, no, you didn't. Her husband hit it first, or whoever broke that cherry hit it first. But next topic. What's the next topic?
Next topic on Tweet's thing, and then we out of here. Tweet's concert is this Sunday at the Hard Rock Cafe. You can go to hrcphilly.com and get your ticket if you would like to attend on Sunday. The event starts at 7 o'clock p.m. I'm going to say a.m.
I know.
And Michaela and I will be there.
Yes, we will. And the after party's at Miss Tootsie's.
Are you kidding me?
Mm-hmm. Yay. And we are going to be interviewing Tweet Friday. We
will be interviewing her again. I wish we would have interviewed her last week. But we're going to interview her again on Friday night.
So this is just a Tweet weekend.
Saturday. Yes.
This is a Tweet weekend. So come out and support Tweet. Come out and support her music. Come out and support her talent. And come out and see us if you want to. It's at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Yes.
So this will be fun.
And I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I want her to do her whole first album. She probably not. But I want her to do her whole first album and some songs from the second album.
Well, I'm sure she's going to give us some good surprises.
And do Daydreaming and I'm Thinking of You. I want her to do that one too. Like she did on the CD. You alright?
Yeah, I was miming what you were singing.
Oh,
I thought you said I want her to do what she did on the CW. I was going to say CW. What you say? What? The CD?
On the CD.
Oh, CD. I just said CW.
It was like when she had like a little Tweet Tuesdays and stuff. Like I liked.
Because I remember I went on the late Concrete Loop, which is no longer.
Yes, and
that was like that was one of my websites that I used to love to go on. That and the YBF. Like I cannot believe the Concrete Loop is no more.
You never know. Angel might get that spark and come back. I don't know.
Please, I hope she does. That was like one of the few black websites.
Positive.
Now, first of all, that was one of the few black positive websites that we actually had. Like, hello, Angel, if you're out there listening.
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Like, hello.
And if you got some questions for Tweet, because I'm going to get her. I'm going to say, yeah, because 2 years ago when you was on our show, you said that album was coming out in August. What happened?
Damn, that was
I want to know.
Wow.
Yes.
Time goes by fast.
Time flies. Okay.
2 years ago, that still look good. That's crazy.
You think?
I know.
You grew a beard, I know that.
Action Man.
What happened? Let me pause.
What'd you say I grew a beard? Oh yeah, I didn't have a beard.
Sure didn't.
I cut it down too.
Did you see that Michael Jackson Instagram post talk about not Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan, talking about Philly? If this was Michael Jordan, if he was from Philly, and they had the picture where he was crying and he had a big Philly beard.
No, I didn't see that.
It's a funny picture, but. When you're from Philly, it's not a big thing about no beards. Everybody, y'all make it a big thing.
This guy that I know who's from Miami, he came up here to Philly last year, or maybe, I think it was last year. And he was just shocked because he had never been to Philly before. And when he got up here, he was just like, there was two things he was shocked about. He was shocked about all the men having beards, and he was shocked about Muslims. Because apparently they don't have them down in Miami.
Oh.
So he was just like, wait, what? He was confused. And he was like, why do all the guys got this? Like, what is this about?
It's just a beard thing. I
see guys down south with it too. I think if you groom it right, and it looks really nice on a lot of people, especially if you look nice.
I would think
if
you from Atlanta, like most of the guys have dreadlocks, but it's
it just all depends. Like because dreads are big in certain parts of the country. I think dreads are really big down south. Mm-hmm. I mean, we got guys up north that have dreads, but I think they're mostly really, really big down south. You know, the boxes are big a lot of different places. Bald heads are big with, us old folks.
Yes, I gotta get this hair shaved before this. You fucking tried to bitch, fuck you. I gotta get my hair shaved for this weekend.
Where you going?
To the Tweet concert, And she Tweet really tried to having that date on the Royal Rumble. I hope that they was gonna change that date, and they didn't. But it's alright, because I'll just watch it when I get home. And shout out to my wrestling fans, because the WWE is coming to Dallas, Texas at AT&T Stadium for WrestleMania 32 next year, and I will be at that one.
Everybody's moving to the stadiums now. They said fuck the arenas. We need a bigger venue.
Vince McMahon been doing it for like 10 years. He was like, he only went back to small venues for WrestleMania 20 through 22. After that, it was stadiums out. Because it brings so much money to the cities that the cities be vying for you to come. Mm-hmm. They generated $135 million into New Orleans last year. Just for one weekend. They need to bring that shit to Philly, okay? Come bring WrestleMania to Philly. But I'm excited because I want to see The Rock versus Triple H for the last time in Dallas. That would be...
I want to have my Rocks Triple H.
No, you don't want Triple H's. You want Triple Herpes?
No! Bitch.
I'm on here playing! You want rocks? You want them grapes in that?
I said I want my Rocks Triple H. That's what I said. I didn't say I want Rocks.
I know, I'm only playing.
You tried it.
On that note.
Yeah, on that note.
We're out of here. Make sure y'all watch Mob Wobs. Make sure y'all watch Empire as well. Okay? I ain't watched Love and Hip Hop. I didn't care to watch it. So yeah. We're out of here. Y'all have a good week. Peace.
Bye.